We're going to be walking you through some productivity hacks today in terms of automation, because if automation is there to do anything, it is absolutely to help us be more productive, to help us sell more, to help us manage our candidate and client relationships more effectively, and just ultimately to be just more effective and more happy, not just to bankroll the people that we bought it from. So I'm interested to obviously get your feedback from today. And obviously Wayne is here to talk to you as well. I'm going to share my screen now. The recording of this webinar will go live within the next 24 hours. And obviously bear in mind that we also have a crazy amount of other webinars to do with automation and also recruitment consultants, and bless their hearts, the volume of stuff they now have to manage in comparison to when Wayne and I started out recruitment in 2000, the kinds of stuff that recruiters had to do. Interestingly, the process hasn't changed much, but oh my God, has the data that you've got access to and the volume of systems that you could spend your lovely hard-earned profits on has escalated massively. And a lot of recruitment leaders that we work with have got bruised foreheads saying, make it stop. Maybe you are one of those. So as is always the case, welcome. I'm Lisa. This is Wayne the Waver. We do three things: recruitment training, which we absolutely adore. At the heart of what we do is shining lights on great things and helping recruiters become more effective, helping their leaders have better lifestyles and all that lovely stuff. Recruitment technology gets us out of bed in the morning. We pride ourselves on knowing as much as we can. And obviously automation for us, when it really did start to take off a few years ago, was the missing link to all of the projects that we'd ever worked on. So we are firmly inside recruitment automation, and we are told by Bullhorn we're the best. So I'm going to keep using that until they change their minds. I'm eager to get as many of you trialing our recruitment hit platform. That's got a crazy amount of training on it. It's high intensity, so it's not low intensity, dull, boring, long-winded. Get on, get off, get billing. And we've got lots of clients on it who've got existing L&D departments and they use recruitment hit to do a lot of heavy lifting. And we've got lots of clients who are much smaller that don't have the benefit of an in-house trainer, and they use recruitment hit with new and experienced users to get them using Bullhorn, LinkedIn, Teams, and also lots of really cute recruitment tips like counteroffer protection and managing your sales pipeline with one helpful tip like silver medalists, for example. So I'm here as your warm-up act. Would you believe this is what normally happens? I'm here to get everybody ready, and then Wayne just storms in, you know, like that scene from Strictly Ballroom, if you've watched it, on his knees, just gliding on through the floor, and then I'll just let him get with the techie stuff. So I'm a big fan of the fact that in many recruitment businesses that we've worked in to begin with, that CRM is not first. It's when I got a minute, it's on a Friday, or got to send an invoice. And as a result of that, the majority of people that we place, we're finding elsewhere. We're not finding them on our system. And why is that? Probably because of what I call the cycle of insanity, which is search Bullhorn, can't find anything. Better write an advert, get an advert, do some sourcing on job boards and LinkedIn, find loads more candidates, put them on the system, way too busy to do anything interesting with them, make the placement. Oh, damn, they were there all along. Right, now I've got another assignment. Right, search Bullhorn, can't find anything. Cycle of insanity. Yeah, very, very common in our industry. Got to stop. Recruiters, automation should stop you from doing that. We know a lot of time is being wasted from what we're told as well. We know it's quicker to place candidates from your own system. We know this. And we also know that recruiters are spending way too much time looking for stuff, which again, recruitment clients don't pay your lovely recruiters to look for stuff. They pay them to find it and place it and keep it in post for a certain period of time. Unproductive. And we know that you're unproductive because there's a couple of industries that do very well out of recruiters being unproductive. And they are obviously LinkedIn and job boards. And we have lots of clients coming to us going, Lise, in the next year, I want to reduce reliance on those two bits of tech out there. Can you help me? And obviously the answer is, you bet. CRM first, recruiters being happy, placements being made quicker, clients paying more money to you guys and gals. Yes. But here's something that sort of hit me, that actually the stats, even if we've got the budget for these two systems, LinkedIn and job boards, still wasting time, still dragging data onto our systems. It's no good, making it worse, forming more of an addiction. Yeah, not great, not great. So if you could reduce reliance on stuff like that, how much time and money would you save? Mental health as well, just thrown in there. Here's this something that I came across. We've been writing some content for our Recruitment Hit platform, and referrals are a big deal. And those of you who've been in recruitment a long time and are really good at picking up the phone and going, John, I know you like what we did. Who else do you know that we can help? Or Jane, we did a good job for you, didn't we, helping you find a job? Who else can we help? Recruiters don't do it. We know this because there's a lot of data out there to prove it, but 91% of clients asked said they'd give a referral, but only 11% of recruiters said they ask. Big gap. We know that referrals are a very, very sure thing, but we don't have time to ask for them because we're unproductive. So that's something you could take away today. Some other stats as well is not only they're a sure thing, but they're a stickier sale, they're easier, keep clients sticking to you. Decisions are made quicker because of referrals. You know this, if one of your mates has had a really good experience and they tell you about it, you're probably going to want the same thing. No different in recruitment. But for some reason, and often because I don't have time, referrals are not asked for. So I want you to be really thinking again when Wayne's talking to you about productivity and what you can do to make your recruiters and your business more productive is could you then go, right, now I've freed myself up, now I've freed my team up, I'm going to set them some targets every month to generate more referrals. Watch that pipeline strengthen, watch those numbers go up. Watch the need for outsourced sourcing, LinkedIn job boards, watch the need for that decline. Watch the opportunity for you to wean your people off of external systems and onto the stuff that you own, that you are a niche specialist in, and it is your USP. Having a LinkedIn and recruiter license ain't a USP, and neither is knowing how to write a job advert. So, nice pink slide to make the point is we need a productivity strategy. Productivity is a big word and it's got a lot of syllables in it. You could keep hitting that VI and then eventually figuring out there needs to be a TY at the end. It became quite a big deal post-COVID. Working from home, hybrid, unproductive, in work, more productive. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. But ultimately, there is still a lot of time and money being wasted doing stuff that we don't need to do, or that fear of missing out is promoting us doing stuff that we don't need to do, but we're frightened of turning it off. Well, automation should just, again, storm in there like Strictly Ballroom or Leighton on Strictly if you've been watching it. Let's hope he wins. So I'm a big fan of let's remove the admin and the excuses. Let's get our focus. Let's create more of a sustainable pipeline. And also when we're onboarding new recruiters as well, make their jobs easier to learn because we're removing stuff that they don't need to do anymore. Let's remove the need to use lots of other stuff because of that FOMO. And let's also increase some speed. Let's start placing quicker. Yeah, candidates think, this is a Bullhorn stat from a couple of weeks ago. Did you know that 25% of candidates think that you'll place them in a week? A week. When was the last time that ever happened in the history of recruitment? About 3/4 think about a month. That's still too short in the current market. So let's automate, let's de-administrate, let's create some focus, and then let's get the recruiters trained to do the really good stuff, like ask for referrals. So I'm hoping, Wayne, I've done a good enough job to warm them up, but my job isn't done because I'm trying to get more people to sign up to our recruiter productivity webinar this Friday. It's part of a series that we've been running in recent months: sales, account management, sourcing. I think I've done that in the right order. We've done a load of webinars on that. Pop in your chat, just pop the word webinar if you want a link to that webinar, and I'll send it to you outside of this webinar today. But I want to see as many of your recruiters on this as possible. And I accept no excuses. So what if you're hungover from the night before? So what if you're actually at a Christmas do? I have a record button and I'm not afraid to use it. Yeah. Wayne will continuously talk about our dig up stupid model because your data is your niche, it's your specialism, it's your USP. But if all you're doing is focused on the sticky mess at the bottom of it, then you're not going to get very far. And equally, obviously, what we want to do is not necessarily equally focus too much on the dormants. Let's let our marketing departments do that. I'm a big fan, as Wayne is as well, on making sure that your recruiters focus on that green space, the recently placed, the recently invoiced. And also, let's not focus too much on what's going on LinkedIn and job boards, because that data set isn't that clean, it's not that tidy, it's full of aspiration rather than reality. That green space is where you need to focus on, let automation, etc., get as much into that green space as possible. So Wayne's going to talk to you about 5 productivity automations, and I'm going to go quiet and turn off my mic, you lucky things.
I wanted to list out some of the reasons why clients use automation, specifically around productivity. Lisa's mentioned lots of these already, but reducing admin, reducing that thing that recruiters don't like doing, keeping your database updated with data entry, getting the candidates to do it through self-service, improving the overall data quality. Poll there a second ago indicated that nobody trusts 100% of their data. So getting that database updated is really important. Another big area is creating focus. Many recruiters are very, very good at not so much procrastination, but focusing in on the wrong activities, especially important if you're a young recruiter or new to recruitment in general. So giving those recruiters focus, telling them on who they should be speaking to and when they should be speaking to is a really important process in making your recruiters more productive. Sending lists to actions, again, creating focus, increasing the talk time, removing the admin, giving recruiters more time to be able to speak to candidates and clients. Probing, love that word, probing in recruitment, asking open-ended questions, all of those things, really important things that recruiters should be doing. Increasing the reach of the people that you engage with. So recruiters naturally have a limit onto the number of relationships they can hold at any one moment in time. Automation can extend that reach. You can be speaking to thousands of people and collating that information to give you more information about who you should be speaking to. Engagement increase, we've just talked about, and something I added in a second ago, which is follow the entire process. Recruiters are very good at picking the bits of the process that they want to do, when as a business, we want them to do the entire process. That includes when we've made placements, asking for referrals, or even 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the line, doing the aftercare process and picking up those referrals as well. So following the entire process. Ultimately, we want to monetize everything that recruiters are doing. That's what they're there to do. Make placements, earn some money, earn the business some money as well. Okay. Talk about this a lot. Perception of your CRM, it's still seen as a data dump. We've got 2 stats in there again. If you can regurgitate these to your recruiters, you're educating them why the CRM system is really important. You're educating them as to why the data that goes onto the CRM system is really, really important. 72% of the time, the data is updated and not created, indicating that you already have the candidates on your database. Really interesting stat from Bullhorn Analytics. They've done some analysis that identified that 40 days is the average time it takes to place somebody from your own CRM when you add a job, versus 60 days when you advertise. There's just a lag. Now, speed is of the essence in recruitment. Getting those candidates and the CVs in front of the clients is really, really important. It's a really quick process, or it should be. However, if you're advertising, you're waiting for people to respond, by which point those organizations that are engaged to their database probably found your candidates already applied and probably sent the CV out already. So data dump. Now, this is a key part of the process as well. You have to change the mentality of your recruiters. Next slide, please, Lisa. And that's looking at, stop seeing it as a database, start seeing it as a community. There are 500 people that work in your niche market or your specialist skill or your specific region. Nurture those relationships. That will make you a lot more productive. Every time you get a job, you don't have to start a new sourcing campaign. You've already got the candidates, you already trust them, you already know them. So try and think about those opportunities to improve community building rather than just advertising and dumping a load of candidates on a database and not using them or engaging with them. It's a very, very poor process. I've added this next slide in. We're talking about automation. I love AI as well. We were speaking to some of our friends recently who are legal people. They reckon their industry is going to be transformed by AI. The back office may disappear completely, leaving just the solicitors to do the front office stuff. So where does that put recruitment? Well, recruiters are already using ChatGPTs and the Bards and the other systems that are out there to write their adverts. They're already starting to use sourcing and matching algorithms to try and source candidates. If you're using automation already, then the semantic match or the auto match, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is one of those opportunities. They're already asking ChatGPT to create questions. I've got a candidate that works in an industry that I don't know a great deal about. What questions should I be qualifying against? They're also using it to create documents, especially sales documents, or alternatively, summarizing those profiles of the candidates that are in your database Here's a candidate CV. Can you write 4 or 5 points that are basically summarize their really good salient points? Where is it going? Well, talking about that back office functionality, ChatGPT or these other AI models that are going to be coming out there won't be long before you're able to add a job, and the system immediately analyzes what that candidate is relevant for against the jobs that you've got. Again, Automatch is one of those features that can start doing that, but who knows where that's going to go. Whilst you guys have been talking, I've been thinking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been mentioned a lot. Well, ChatGPT and LinkedIn are both pretty much owned by Microsoft. So how long before ChatGPT and the AI technology starts getting embedded into LinkedIn as well? Imagine the possibilities that could happen there. Let's move on to the automations specifically. Now, I've not specifically named specific automations. There are some, but I wanted to talk about some of the features that you can utilize within automation. This is a classic one, notifications. Notifications are really, really good at keeping your team focused. They tell you who and when, and potentially even what you need to be doing at specific points of the day. So, for example, you've got candidates that are waiting to go to interview. Have you checked them in? Well, let's send a notification. You've got new starters. Let's make sure that we've checked those candidates in as well. Let's send them a good welcome notification, etc., etc. So they're really, really good, important recruitment processes. However, you need to be really careful with sending tons of notifications out. Sending the immediate notifications will result in your recruiters probably going blind. I've been an IT director. I knew full well that the emails I would send out informing people about new processes or new technology go straight into the junk filter or the IT folder. So use them sparingly. Use the daily notifications. If you've got things that you want your recruiters to do on a day, or send it to them on a weekly basis. Slight caveat with weekly notifications. That will present some false positives, talking about that outside of this. But what you're doing is you're also able to educate your recruiters as to what they should be doing. So we've talked about referrals, or we've talked about things that you want to be doing and checking the candidates in. So is there an opportunity to you also be including in the notifications the top 4, 5, 6 questions that you want the candidate to be asking, or what areas of the recruitment database you want them to be updating? Notifications can be a really great tool of being able to monitor and track and tell your recruiters what they should be doing. But as I said, the big caveat there, use them sparingly. For some clients, we've started mapping out notification journeys. First thing they want to do is just look at the entire recruitment process and then map out all the key steps of that recruitment process, and then identify the specific notifications that you want to send your recruiters. Educate them up on those notifications, get those bedded in, and then you can start evolving and enhance those notifications as and when you need to. So notifications, great feature. Don't abuse it, use it sparingly, and make sure that you educate your recruiters as to what you want them to do. Okay. Note type triggers. Love note type triggers. Those of you who have not come across note type triggers, the ability for you to say, instead of me sitting here potentially and writing an email out, a lot of clients use this very, very commonly to be able to quickly add a note to trigger off an automation. So we did some analysis for a client a number of years ago now. They were spending on average probably 20 emails a day saying call left message, classic example. 100 recruiters, each taking about 3 or 4 minutes to basically send that email and add a task in their Outlook. That calculated it to be about 3,000 minutes a day being spent on the same email being written. Or you could add a note and it triggers off in the background an email that goes out the door on behalf of the recruiter that's assigned to that candidate or sales contact. So it's a really great way of being able to give your recruiters very quick ways of saying, I've added this note and now go and do something. Now, there is a caveat with this. The owner field must be accurate. Ownership rules in your business, these are slightly more difficult to implement. You can use note author smart tokens. Again, speak to me outside that if you want that sort of information. There is always that challenge around, well, we don't want to send generic emails or generic correspondence. We want to personalize it. Well, again, if you have a merge field and against a candidate or a sales contact, then you can use that as a way of being able to type out your first sentence, maybe, which gets merged into the email, and the rest of it becomes more standardized. Again, it feels a bit more personalized. So note type triggers, really great way of standardizing communications, making sure that the candidate has a consistent experience along with your client as well. The next feature I want to talk to you about is the calendar booking. How many times have we sat there and we've got 27 people's diaries all trying to book and trying to manage that? So Bullhorn Automation provides you with the ability to be able to say, here's my link to my calendar. Why don't you book my diary? If you've all used Teams, or if you've all used Calendly, now Bullhorn Automation have their own version that they've built into it. So it's free, you can use that. Again, you've got to be an enterprise user to use the Bullhorn Automation calendar. Go and speak to your account manager about that. But it's a really quick way of making sure that your recruiters are productive and say, there's my calendar, book it. Now, lots of people push back on that and saying, oh, we don't like that idea because people could just randomly fill up my entire diary. So the recommendation there is just section off a portion of your day, 4 till 5, 4 till 6, whatever that time of day is going to be, and only allow people to book that part of your diary. That's a quick way of getting yourself more organized. It's a quick way of saving time and allowing other people to book your diary as and when you need it. It's a really great feature. More and more people are starting to use this. Most people use it in terms of their Outlook calendar already. Automation now enables you to use this as well.
By the way, I'm just going to quickly jump in and voice from the clouds. On Recruitment Hit, we've got a really cool Calendly and MS Teams course, which really shows recruiters how they can weaponize their diaries and manage their time more effectively with that kit. And of course, some of that does integrate really nicely with automation to add that extra bit of turbo. So if you've already got access to Hit, access those courses right now. If you don't, put Hit in your chat and I'll send you a link.
Okay. Thanks, Lise. So advertise jobs, talk about this a lot, especially with clients. Every client that we work with, we automatically sort of suggest that you have this. The idea of you sourcing candidates from your database is really, really important. So having those candidates in a fit state, or you reaching out to lots of candidates very quickly and being able to identify the top 20 or 10% of those candidates that are actively active in your database is really, really important. How many times do we see a recruiter pull up a list of candidates in Bullhorn or any other CRM system, but Bullhorn, and then look at and start at the top and work their way down? And probably 80–90% of the time, they don't get through to people. They actually sit there and just call left message. And you see a lot of the call left message note types in your database. So automation can sort of speed that process up. You can shortlist candidates against a job. You can immediately then start receiving notifications back of those candidates that are saying, hey, I'm interested in your job. I'm active in this market at this precise moment in time. It means that instead of trying to make 100 phone calls, you may only need to make 10, 20% or 20 phone calls and get through to the people that are genuinely looking. Doesn't stop your recruiters from still trying to call everyone else, but it does speed up the process of trying to reach out to those candidates as quickly as possible. A lot of clients that use that suddenly realize that they don't need to spend as much money on jobs, on job boards. One of our clients said they immediately cut 50% of their job tokens out of their budget, which saved them a huge amount of money. And the recruiters then started understanding the value of the candidates on the database. So advertised jobs, absolutely critical if you're in sourcing, married up to the next automation, which I'm going to talk to you about now, which is the auto match feature. So auto match is using the semantic match algorithm in the background. Semantic match is one of those tools that you can say, Mr. Candidate, I've got these top 5 jobs for you. Well, Bullhorn Automation also uses that. When you add a job, it can search the candidate database and it can shortlist up to 50 candidates against your job. Now that's great if your data is great. And this is the key part. You must make sure that your data is in a good state. If it's not in a good state, you start matching really, really badly, and then people get really, really frustrated. Now, the other great thing about the great tool about auto match is, where I see that it work really, really successfully, is when recruiters and automators don't just try and set up one journey, they have multiple journeys on auto match. So the ability for you to say, I'm looking for Java developers, and any job that's categorized with Java, then only select people from my Java list. Yeah, those candidates that I set up with Java in their category or skill. So the idea there is auto match will Go away and only source candidates from those candidate pools that you want them to source from. Unlike semantic match, which is looking across the entire broad match, auto match can be very, very defined. The enterprise feature within Bullhorn Automation, that's something that you really want, then go and speak to your account manager at Bullhorn and get some indicative pricing on that. But the ultimate journey of where most clients want to get to, a recruiter adds a job, the system matches the candidates and shortlists them against the job. Phase one, I'd get your recruiters to check that to make sure they're happy with the matching algorithm. If not, go away and tweak the data. Once you're happy that it's matching correctly, then you can use the advertised job process to automatically reach out to those candidates. Out of those 300-400 Java developers, I can guarantee 10 to 20% of those people will be coming back and saying, hey, I'm interested in the job. That community is really tight and you understand that community and you're engaged with that community on a regular basis, well, they're the natural people that you want to be matching against. So, advertised jobs, auto match. We've also done calendar booking. We've also done note type triggers and of course the notifications features. They are all absolutely cool tools that you can utilize to try and speed up the productivity, not just of your recruiters, but of your entire business.
Any questions because of time? Drop me a mail. You've got my details. Okay, we're obviously keen to work with you with as many as you as we possibly can. Can't speak, need a break. Evidently, Christmas is coming. I'm a big fan of this is a two-pronged attack here. You can't automate everything and then just hope that your recruiters become more productive. Yeah. Yes, we are doing a crazy amount of work for clients at the moment, shining lights on pools of sales opportunities. But if your recruiters don't then work them, all you're doing is paying my lovely team to shine a light on stuff. Equally as well, if you're wanting to make them more productive sources, then just cleaning up your Bullhorn data and still allowing them to source from multiple locations and not training them to become addicted to your data set and your business. So this for me is always going to be about automate whatever you can and train on the good human stuff. Going back to the referral strategy that we talked about before, you need a productivity strategy. What are you going to do in the next 90 days to make your recruiters and thus your business more productive? Buying tech doesn't fix anyone's problems apart from the people that you buy it from. Yeah, you need to weaponize it, you need to use it. And don't wait till January, start today. Again, remember, we've got a productivity tips webinar this Friday, and we've got other webinars on our website that you can tap into from a sourcing and a sales perspective. And obviously, I'm keen to get as many of you onto the HIT system as possible. So pop the word HIT into your chat if you'd like me to send you a free login. I can get your whole company trialing it if you wish. That's how keen we are to make a difference. So keep me posted on that. So remember, map out your journeys. Identify where the gold is and also the bottlenecks within your business. Get your automations driving your process, not just cleaning up your data. There's a big difference. Build out those automations. Get your recruiters understanding how those automations are going to make a real difference. It's hand in glove stuff. It's really important. And obviously as well, we've done this for breakfast for many years now. So if you need help, you need advice, then you give us a call, drop us a line. Got our details here. Evidently, I'm going to touch base with you the recording of the webinar so you can watch it again with a glass of wine. Who knows? But enjoy the rest of your December. Happy Christmas, everyone. Did I just say that? Take care. Good to see you all. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.